Welcome back to the Decent Garage, and welcome back to the road to 600 horsepower. In this series, we teamed up with the Hungry Diesel to work through their power packages for VE pump 12 valve Cummins trucks. We're almost through all the power packages, and we have one more left to go, which we're going to address in this video. If you haven't seen the previous videos, make sure to check out that playlist. But today, we've got to get another turbo installed in the truck. First step, out with the old and in with the new. All right, we got our SXE 362 out, and let me show you what I discovered. So we are missing at least 2 exhaust manifold bolts that I can see. I don't know about down there, I can't see very well. But I just retorqued these. Only a couple months ago I retorqued them because one was loosening up. So when we put this back together, we're gonna put studs on there. That holds much better. That's how the turbo was held on. Hadn't budged at all. So, but we do have to take the exhaust manifold off to flip it over for the compounds. All right, it is out. Actually have studs on the bottom, and all those were good. So yeah, we need to run studs all the way around. Let me show you something too. I've heard people knock on Steed Speed manifolds saying they discolor and rust within months of putting them on. This has been on for well over a year, almost 2 years, and there's literally no sign. Oh, there may be a sign, but that's it. Seriously looks, once I clean it up, it'll look brand new. So I'm gonna clean up some of the engine bay over here. When I have access, I try and clean stuff up. I do have to take the downpipe off as well because we have to run a different downpipe. But then we'll be ready to start reinstalling everything else. I'm excited to show you guys the kit that I went with. All right, here's the manifold and the turbo that we pulled out. That box right there is our new compound turbo kit. The turbo is down here somewhere. So let's get it out. I just went through and sprayed a bunch of oven cleaner in the engine bay, rinsed it out, made it look nice. So I think, you know, we're gonna have to pull this off, but I think we're ready to start installing. All right, here's everything for the compound. So this is a kit that, his name's TJ Frey. He's got a Facebook page, One Bad VP44, I believe. But he stepped up. I was in a pinch, needed a kit. This was actually almost a year ago, and he got it done. I've had it for at least 6 months. It's an S300 over S400 first gen Cummins compound kit. It has to use a Steed Speed manifold because that's how he fabricated it. But that's great for us because that's what we're using. It also came with all the hardware, all the boots, clamps, filter, everything we need. So I think we're ready to get this installed. So I just realized I've never installed a compound turbo kit. Just something I've never done. So I'm going to stumble my way through it, and I'll give you some tips along the way if I figure anything out, but I think it should be pretty straightforward. We're just going to start with the manifold and work from there. So I'm getting the manifold ready to put in. So this is how it was on the engine, and the EGT probe was right here. We have to flip this upside down, and I actually didn't know if people tap new holes into the top or if they run it at the bottom, so I made a poll on Instagram, asked people, and everyone said run it to the bottom. So I swap that plug over to that side, and we just have to put our probe right here. If you've never set an EGT probe or determined how deep it should go, what you do, you put it in there, fill all the way to the bottom, basically mark that, pull it out halfway, and that's where you want your EGT probe. And if you got the manifold off, you can just look in there. That's the cheater way. Oh, I need some anise. There it is. So the kit also comes with new drains, and these fit on, basically these go to AN lines. I don't know where they're at, but they're here somewhere. Right here. So these AN lines go down to a drain. Obviously we're draining both turbos, so let's throw this new plate on before we put the turbo on, just trying to make everything as easy as I can. So the hardware it came with is not the right size. I'll make sure to let TJ know that, but I've got some nice grade 8 hardware that is the correct size, so that's what we're going to throw on there. Let me show you what's going on here at the garage. Got concrete getting put in. Gonna have a pad 13 feet wide. It'll come about 4 feet out in front of here. It'll go all the way back here and then all the way over there. So big, huge concrete pad. And then I'm gonna do a lean-to carport right off under the eave down here for storage, and really to have a place to work in the shade in the summer and out of the snow in the winter. But I'm excited to get this in. Got to show you guys the latest upgrade to the truck. Look at this. Topper. What do you guys think? Some people hate them. I actually love the look of a topper. Let's see. That works. I bent my tailgate back so the tailgate opens and closes. There she is. I really like it. Eventually I might paint match it. You can see it looks like someone painted it, and it was red primer underneath or something. From above you can tell it's really red. But I might paint match it at some point, but for now I think it actually looks cool mismatched. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you a hater of the toppers, or do you love them? Got the manifold in, all torqued down. I just remembered when I was talking to TJ and we were kind of going back and forth developing this, we do have to move the washer fluid reservoir. I don't know to where, we didn't come up with that, but we do need to move it out of the way so the S400 can fit right here, and then we'll figure out a different reservoir location. I'm pretty sure we put the S300 on next. I almost forgot to put the support bracket in though, so it ties on to 2 of the exhaust manifold studs that supports the S400. So let's put the 300 on and see if that's what we're supposed to do. You saw I had studs in here, but before we mount the S300, I realized there's a spacer that comes with the kit. So luckily, The kit also comes with some longer studs, so we're going to put those in, and then we can mount the S300. Make sure you install the nut that's closest to the firewall and on the bottom before you install any of the other nuts.
One nice thing about this package is that you reuse the same S300 turbo that we had on the truck prior to putting our compounds in.
We are on the home stretch. Everything's coming together really well. This kit is awesome. Everything has come together perfectly. Clears the AC dryer perfectly. We are going to have to reroute the heater hoses just a little bit. They'll still use the stock spots, but I'm going to, I'll show you what I do. I'm going to go to a hose place and get some 90s and come out and then 90 back this way, so it stays away from the downpipe. So we have the drain left to do. Really just the drain junction, and this is really cool how he did this. So I'll get it in and then I'll show you. There's no way I'm going to be able to show you getting it in because there's just not much space. And then we have the downpipe to do, and then that's pretty much it. And I got to show you guys this because this is something you're going to deal with, and I figured out a really good way to do this. The old oil drain is right there. It's a pain to get out, but I was like, because there's a little rib on it right where it goes in the block. I was like, maybe a pickle fork will go on there. And so sure enough, stick that on there, give it a couple whacks with a hammer. You can see it's coming out. It's not out yet, so not going to declare it a win yet, but that worked really well. So I'm running into a little bit of an issue. I think it's just the thickness of the header wrap is not allowing it to line up correctly. So I might pull the header wrap up to here, unravel it, see if it'll go in, see if that's the issue. But it's basically because we have header wrap here and header wrap there that it's taking up the clearance that was built into it. You can see there's a little, like, something from the factory, just this little notch right here. That thing sticking out is what's preventing it from going in. So I'm just going to shave just a 1/4 inch off of there and it'll fit perfectly. I don't know if you can tell a difference. Now if any of you comment down there and say, oh, you're compromising the integrity of the frame by doing that, please don't. I took a 1/4 of an inch off of there. It is not going to do anything. And there we go. Very nice. So there's one more piece of the downpipe that basically turns from there and goes straight back. So we got to figure out how that's going to tie into our existing exhaust best. And I couldn't really show you guys this because there's just no room, but I really like this, how there's a V-band clamp to connect the two pieces of the downpipe. I wish Diamond Eye would start doing that because it makes the, instead of, it just makes it clear the adapter plate so much better, the frame rail, it just clears perfectly. So I took this intermediate pipe off here. I know I have to cut about 6 inches out of it. I'm hoping it'll line up. He didn't build it specifically to line up, so I'm just hoping we'll get lucky. So I'm gonna go cut that off and then we'll see. All right, I hope you guys can see, because that's the best view you're gonna get. So I'm gonna undo the V-band here and actually slide this section of the downpipe forward, and that should make it easier. It was too difficult to show you guys under there, but I'll show you when I get it all put in. But here's what I've come up with. I added a V-band joint, so we have 2 V-band joints. So let me weld it up, then I'll show you how it fits in. It's pretty sweet. There we go. Let me know in the comments, how are my welds coming along? Look at that little section right there. Let's judge it off of that section and that section only. So let me throw it in there, then I'll try and give you a view of what it looks like. All right, so I've got these cooling here in the shade. You may have noticed I took the heat wrap off of that second piece of the downpipe. I just didn't like it when I put it on. Then I went on Instagram and posted about it and asked everyone what they thought. Everyone said take it off. Only have enough on that first part of the downpipe to keep the heat down, 12 to 18 inches. After that's excessive, and this, if it were on here, would get wet and muddy and end up corroding the pipe underneath. So I just took it off. So while these are cooling off, let me go show you where we're at with the concrete pad project on the side of the garage. All right, here we are. They've got it all formed up. All the rebar in, rebar's tied into the foundation. There, that gives you a good idea of the size of the pad that's gonna be in here. It's all compacted. Concrete is coming tomorrow. 7 feet here, 26 feet there, and then 4 more feet in front. So what does that put us at? 26 plus 7 is 33, plus 4 is 37 feet deep. There we go. 37 feet deep, 13 feet wide off of the side of the garage. Super sweet. Probably be able to fit 2 trucks front to back.
The beauty of this kit is it was designed to go in a first-gen truck. Most other compound kits that you'll find for a 12 valve are for a second gen, and you'll have difficulty fitting them around some of the components in the engine compartment.
This thing went in here perfectly. I'm amazed. So let me try and show you. So, no contact on the frame rail. Doesn't contact up there either. Super close, but no contact. No contact on the drive shaft, no contact on the shackle, no contact on the transfer case, no contact on this cross member. It's within like 1/4 of an inch, but no contact. So there it is. I really, like I said, I can't believe how well this went in here. This is the best I've ever had the exhausts in this truck. So we got to finish the heater lines and connect the drain tubes and we're done. All right guys, we did it. We got the compounds installed, the exhaust finished, the coolant lines fixed, and the EGT probe all wired up. Everything's good to go. We can't drive it yet because in the next video, we need to install our 7.3 intercooler, our cold air intake, and we got a lot of tuning to do before we head down to the dyno event. So as you can see behind me, we've got concrete going in, got a lot going on. Hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll see you guys in the next one.